And let's start with the kidney, shall we? Your kidneys are a very important part of your body. They filter waste and excess fluids from your blood, which are then excreted in your urine. But when they begin to fail, that could be life-threatening. Chronic kidney disease, CKD, it's also called chronic kidney failure. It is a gradual loss of kidney function. Now, that disease is a worldwide public health problem with adverse outcomes of kidney failure and premature death, and affect approximately 195 million women worldwide. There's more in the story. So that gives you some sort of basis of the disease we're talking about. So as we observe the day, Nancy Emefa-Jadosi brings us a report on the daily struggles of a single mother whose 21-year-old son battles for his life because of his kidneys. He visits the hospital 3 times a week at the cost of 780 Ghana cedis.
At all. This is no respecter of persons. It was like about a year or 2 before I asked my mom, like, what's happening? We were not happy, we were down, like it was like we've lost everything.
It's potentially an irreversible condition. It's one-way traffic and cannot be reversed.
See your kidney as the place where all the waste in your house go to before it gets dislodged out of the septic tank. The kidney is that vital organ that filters out toxins, excess salt, and urine from the body. So when the kidney is damaged, the body gets into real trouble dealing with all the waste that is produced.
So when we say the kidneys have failed, it means they are not serving these functions. It means these functions are lost because the kidneys are not working. So and therefore these chemical substances, for instance, will not be produced. So the patient can become anemic, or the hemoglobin, or we say the blood level, can fall. So the fluid can accumulate in your body because the kidney is not there to remove excess fluid and salt. And also the toxins can accumulate in your body, which makes you sick. So that's when we say the kidneys have really failed.
Hypertension or high blood pressure are the major causes of kidney failures in West Africa. Described as a silent killer, thousands of Ghanaians are unaware they are at risk of developing kidney disease until it fails.
Well, so I was working actually, and I'm still working. And I was there, and then all of a sudden, I started experiencing swelling all over my face and my legs. And that was how the whole thing started.
That time I was in GHS, so I came back from school and I had something to eat, so just sitting on my bed and I just collapsed. That was all.
Early stages like stages 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of kidney disease, literally you don't feel anything. You feel normal like everybody else out there on the street and do your work normally without knowing that you have a kidney problem. The day you start having symptoms of leg swelling, general feeling of unwellness, nausea, vomiting, maybe confusion, breathing problems, etc., amongst others, then it's very, very late already. Maybe stage 4 or 5 already. So that's really an advanced stage of kidney disease.
Most people get so depressed when doctors announce to them that their kidneys have started failing or have completely failed. This is because when the kidney begins to fail, there is often no way of saving it, whether by surgery or medication. Yet, with some careful treatment, some people are able to live longer.
So you can get a kidney transplant. Everybody has 2 kidneys. Everybody can live on 1 kidney. And that's why we can take one of your kidneys and give to your daughter or your sibling, and you can still be well. So the dialysis machine is more or less an artificial kidney doing the work of the diseased kidney that's no longer there. So when you get to this stage, we give you dialysis, and dialysis is going to remove the filth, the excess water, correct the acid-base problems, electrolyte problems, amongst others that helps control BP, etc.
A troubled kidney means toxins can seep through the blood. So to purge the blood of toxins and excess water, people with chronic kidney failure are put on dialysis machine. This can be very expensive, besides the strain on the individual having to visit the hospital 3 times in a week for the rest of their lives.
Some of them cannot even start at all because they can't pay for it. Others commit themselves to starting, and 3 months down the line, they said, we can continue, and then they withdraw. Now the treatment frequency itself is supposed to be 3 times every week. They're supposed to come to the dialysis unit 3 times every week. As I'm speaking to you, majority 2 tests are doing only 2 every week because that's what they can afford. A few do once a week because they can't even afford it 2. Only very few privileged ones are doing it 3 times a week.
Kwesi is just one out of the many patients on dialysis treatment. He was diagnosed 7 years ago. This means Kwesi and his single mom, per estimation, spend 780 Ghana cedis a week, 3,120 Ghana cedis per month, and 37,440 Ghana cedis per year for the 7 years he's been on this treatment. His single mother explains how she's managed to pull through all these years.
At first, we go on air, I distribute letters to companies for help. Then they help us to do the dialysis. It's not easy. Dialysis, if you are on dialysis, it's not easy. If you don't have money, you die.
Many patients have had to rely on the benevolent hearts of some Ghanaians. Isaac has been on this treatment for 3 years.
My organization that I work with, yes, they have been very good to me, and they have supported me this far. If not them,
Imagine you who once very strong, moving around doing your work, suddenly hooked down by this disease and coming to treatment center 3 times a week, where is your quality of life? There's none. It means 3 times in a week you're out of home. You go back late all the time. So how much time do you have at home? How much time do you have with your family? How much time do you have, etc., at work? And all that. So quality of life is really, really poor. And most of them tend to have psychological problems. Among them is depression, really. It's high amongst them because of this problem that they face.
Can you just imagine something that you develop without your cause? You didn't contribute to it. You were just there, and then all of a sudden it hits you palm like that. And the whole thing is scary to the extent that it even hits kids. So you also say, so if this whole kidney thing is hitting kids, what as a child, what crime did that child commit?
There are about 5 public dialysis centers, with 10 in the private sector, a number which is woefully inadequate to cater for the about 12,000 diagnosed kidney patients each year. This usually leads to long queues at the various centers.
They should bring in more machines because there are so many patients. When they come, you have to sit down for 4 to 5 hours before you go on the machine, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
In this hospital, you see almost over 3,000 patients every year annually at the OPD. That's what I can tell you. And our database for those who are on dialysis currently, we are approaching almost 700 countrywide. And even that we haven't finished, we are still collecting that data.
As we celebrate World Kidney Day, there is a renewed call for the awareness and timely diagnosis. Also, it calls on government to improve the system of care available for people whose kidneys have lost the ability to perform their functions in a natural way.
We are appealing to all stakeholders, government, non-governmental organizations, that these patients need help. They need help to afford, to be able to pay for their treatments. Number 2, the health system itself need help in order to reach out to the grassroots level where we can institute preventive measures through already existing structures. Because, for example, the cost a session of dialysis is 260 Ghana cedis. So if the government decides to pay 50%, that's 130 Ghana cedis. And the patients can pay the rest. Or perhaps you can put this on national health insurance. So national health insurance to pay half, the patients pay the other half.
Your kidney does a lot of work. Your lifestyle can seriously affect the health of your kidney. With a healthy lifestyle, your kidney would last you a lifetime.
Why wait until you develop the disease and then find out you can't afford? We need to put preventive measures in place.
Be a kidney warrior today. Nancy Emefa Tredosi, JoyNews.
And whilst you're being a kidney warrior, why don't you protect yours first? Oh, well, World Kidney Day is celebrated on the 2nd Thursday of March every year, and this year falls on the same day as International Women's Day, hence the theme Kidney and Women's Health. It includes value and power. Research suggests that the risk of developing chronic kidney disease is at least as high in women as in men. Now, according to studies, CKD is even more likely to develop in women compared to men, with an average of 14% prevalence in women and 12% in men. MFA has been speaking with Dr. Victoria Adabayere. She's a pediatric nephrologist at Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
A lot of us are not aware about the kidneys in our body. We do not know the functions, and we do not know what harms the kidney. We don't know the state of our kidneys. So the World Kidney Day is a day that has been chosen to raise awareness among the population about what to do right for the kidney and what not to do to harm your kidneys.
I know for a lot of people, we know that one of the main functions of the kidney is to filter out the toxins out of the body. But I want you to tell us, from where you sit as a doctor, How dangerous is it when we are being told that your kidneys have failed, for instance?
It's very devastating because once your kidneys have failed totally, you need help to take out the toxins from your body. And without that external help, either from a machine or from fluids, your life will be cut short.
Let's talk about women. Let's now focus on women here in Africa and especially in Ghana. Do we know the prevalence rate between, in Ghana in terms of how women contracting the chronic kidney disease, for instance?
Statistics is our limitation. We don't have the statistics, but we know that quite a number of women are affected by the chronic kidney disease, and especially during pregnancy. Sometimes there are complications of pregnancy that gives them kidney disease, which, if not well managed, can end up being chronic.
So what really causes this chronic kidney disease? What is the main cause of it?
In Ghana, it's hypertension and diabetes. Hypertension, which is not well managed, and also diabetes, which is not well controlled. But this is mainly on the part of the patient, because we have the notion that once we are on medication, it should not be taken for life. So even though they are hypertensive, they stop taking their medications, and therefore their hypertension is not well controlled. Once you have been diagnosed as a hypertensive person, you need to be on your medication until your doctor tells you you can withdraw it, and that will be under supervision, especially if your hypertension is due to some lifestyle issues, maybe obesity, lack of exercise, your diet and others, and you have made corrections on that. Sometimes your blood pressure can come down to normal, but it is only under the supervision of your doctor that you can stop taking your medication.
I remember speaking to some patients, and one told me that I never smoked, I don't drink alcohol, I don't do this, and this unfortunate disease has hit me. How do we explain things like that? Because it's really devastating from the way that woman was speaking to me,
Yes, you sometimes can do everything right, but there are certain diseases that just strike you from nowhere. You can have diseases that have other diseases apart from hypertension and diabetes. They have got a lot of technical names, but you can have infections or other disease conditions. We talk about lupus, and we talk about other infections that can affect the kidney. So even though smoking is thought to be one of the very big causes of kidney that can lead to kidney disease, even if you don't smoke, you are not hypertensive, you are not diabetic, there are a few other things that can lead to you having a chronic kidney disease.
You've described it as devastating. For women, for instance, how serious is it? In what areas does this disease affect them?
Women are the backbone to the family, even if it is not your immediate family, your extended family. You trade, you go to work, you look after grandparents, parents, nephews, nieces. And with this kind of illness, you become very weak and unwell. And if you do have the resources to have hemodialysis, you're spending quite a bit of time in the hospital and a lot of your resources on this. So it becomes very difficult for the whole family as a whole, knowing how hard women work to bring in funds for the family.
Does this in any way affect their reproductive health system?
Yes. If you do have a severe chronic disease where your kidneys have almost completely packed up, you will not be able to have children until you have corrected all these toxins that are building up in your blood. You would not even have the energy to carry a baby or to carry a pregnancy if you do not correct the derangements, is it too big a word? If you do not correct the toxins that have accumulated in your body.